How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a great day. I apologize. My voice sounds really funky at the moment. Fighting a slight cold. I wanted to talk about Destiny as a franchise, and the current state of Destiny and Bungie in general has been very, unfortunately, troublesome. As you guys know, I made a video talking about my plans for the channel when it comes to Destiny 2 content here. As you guys know, I really haven't been making a lot of Destiny 2 videos or streaming Destiny. And that is because of the fact that there really isn't all that much to do. I'm not interested in grinding the exact same strikes that I've played for the past 8 years over and over and over again, hoping that I get that specific weapon, hoping that I can make a video for you guys, hoping. And it is clear to me more than ever that Destiny as a franchise is in gigantic decline. And they have made that perfectly apparent with the fact that Bungie have literally said in the past couple of years they have missed their revenue income by 45%. And I put out a poll recently discussing the fact that I think Destiny 3 is going to come out after Destiny 2 The Final Shape and Marathon releases. And that would make it where Destiny 3 would come out around, hopefully, 2026. Now, I don't think it's going to come out in 2026. I think they're going to release it in 2028 when the new console generation comes out. And that would make the most sense because they have the capabilities now that they are partners and owned by Sony to be able to run the Destiny franchise, Destiny 2 or Destiny 3, on the Unreal Engine 5 instead of it running on the Tiger engine. And the Tiger engine, if you guys don't know, is something that they basically have been updating ever since Halo 3. Halo 3 came out in 2007. Let that sink in for a quick second. They have been running their games on the Tiger engine since 2007. It is 2023. You do the math. That's 3 decades of running on the exact same engine. No wonder Destiny, and Destiny 2 specifically, is an online MMO looter shooter. It's constantly having problems. It's constantly having bugs, constantly having lag, constantly having crashes. It is a nightmare to put in new content. And when they vault stuff and then they try to bring it back in, it takes them months, even to a year sometimes. The Tiger engine is, no pun intended, outdated as a concept. It is outdated. It does not work in 2023. Okay? It hasn't worked in like almost a decade, and it is showing its signs. Also, if they want to get people to come back and spend money on their DLC, their expansions, their seasonal stuff, spend money in their overpriced microtransaction store, which I still don't. I still advocate against strongly. Spending $20 for skins every single week I think is absurd. I think you could spend $20 and go bowling or go to the movies, and you'd rather have a better time than running around with cat ears for a week. In a video game, in a virtual reality. Okay? Now, I'm not saying I haven't bought microtransactions in Destiny 2 and other video games, but it's very hard for me to justify doing that. And then when I do it, it's because I know for a fact it's a game that I love, it's a franchise I love, and it is something that I enjoy. And I'm going to play the game for ages and ages to come, just like I have done so with Destiny 2 for the past decade almost now. But my problem with Destiny 2 is that, and I know I've already said this, so I'm sorry if I'm beating a dead horse, but Destiny 2 as a franchise needs to die. Destiny 2 needs to die. We need a Destiny 3. Plain and simple. Because a Destiny 3 would solve all the bugs, the crashes, and the issues. Because the Destiny 3, not only would it run on next-gen consoles, but it would need to be able to run on a new, updated engine, aka the Unreal Engine 5. Bungie needs to leave their Tiger engine that they've been using for 3 decades behind bad. Okay? Badly, they need to abandon that with every fiber of their being, okay? This would make it where, when they launch a Destiny 3, it needs to be a Destiny 3. It does not need to be a Destiny 2.5. If we end up using the exact same systems that are in place in Destiny 2, it's not a Destiny 3, it's a Destiny 2.5. If we are literally still in our solar system, if we are still in Destiny 3, visiting Earth, going to the Cosmodrome, going to the moon to fight the Hive, if we're still going to Venus, if we're still going to Mars to fight the Vex, if we're still going to the moon to fight the Hive, if we're still going to Europa to be in a frozen tundra planet, if we're still going into alternate dimensions with Witch Queen and fighting the Scorn and Forsaken, I don't want to see these planets. I want us to go to a different part of this literal Destiny universe. There's an entire universe of planets and lore to explore, and we've only scratched the surface in a decade. There are so many planets they could give us. Ones that we have never traveled to, and even ones that we've never heard of. It would make it fresh and fun. So, if we get a Destiny 3, it would bring in new people because it would be a fresh restart point. Give us an interesting campaign. Which means we need new enemies. I don't want Destiny 3 to give us the Fallen, the Taken, the Hive, the Vex, the Cabal, and the Scorn. And I don't want to see also the Darkness Tormentors. If these 7 enemy faction types are in Destiny 3, I am not going to play Destiny 3. Destiny 3 needs to be an actual different game. We need different planets. We need different enemy races. We also need different loot to chase and different gear. If I see Thorn or Galahorn in Destiny 3, it's not Destiny 3. I love those 2 weapons specifically because they're iconic to the Destiny franchise. But we need different guns. I am sick to death of having to run the exact same guns and gear and loot constantly using the exact same subclasses. That's what we need. Destiny 3, give us different subclasses. No Void, no Solar, no Arc, no Strand, and no... what's the other one? Stasis. Those are fun to use, but they need to get creative more and give us things that we have not experienced. And that's what a new game is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a new experience. Now, obviously, some systems are going to carry over from Destiny 1 and 2, but it should be 95% new stuff and maybe 5% old stuff. But it needs to be a proper sequel. Destiny 3 should not be what Destiny 2 was to Destiny 1, where it just felt like a fresh coat of paint with an actual campaign and a couple good things. Destiny 3 needs to be an exploding universe, and it needs to be something special. And if they don't do that, if they just keep Bungie, if Bungie keeps making Destiny 2 the way they're doing it, they're never going to solve any of their problems. They're going to keep losing player retention, which they're doing right now because of all the problems happening. They're going to lose players, obviously, like myself, with Destiny 2, the Final Shape DLC, because I don't much care what happens afterwards in Destiny 2. And all those types of problems, bugs, crashes, glitches, and whatnot, that's just going to be a persistent problem. I think after Destiny 2, the Final Shape, do their 3-episode gig, and then be done with the franchise. Let it sit. Let it rest for a while, kind of like what this should have done with Avengers Endgame in the MCU. They needed to take a couple years break so they could come up with something else. Instead, they didn't, and they flash flooded us with Phase 4. Look how that turned out. But Destiny 3 needs to wait and let them work on it for 3 years or so and make it a banger out of the gate. Have tons of content. Make it almost like Starfield. Give us 12 planets, not 1,000. Give us 12 planets with tons of content, tons of characters. Make it an RPG MMO. Make it something that I'm excited to grind for and hop on every week. Because if you guys haven't seen, I haven't hopped on. I literally hopped on to check out the Halloween event for literally 5 minutes, and then I stopped. I did just like, the game hasn't changed. The game hasn't changed in months. No. And I wasn't interested in grinding and trying to figure out how to get the Halloween weapon to make a video. And that's really sad. As somebody that loves Bungie games, I love the original Halo 5 games, the first 5 Halo games, Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, and ODST. It's just a bummer that everything that is happening, leadership-wise and revenue-wise, has and is continuing to hurt this franchise. And there are just really easy fixes to these problems. So, That's been my thoughts and opinions. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree or disagree? Why or why not? Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, Guardians.